Otoko wi enu Nyankopon akotra. Democracy eyema before na say enyama yen. Kwese boni tim popa ene sentia. Wadi vaccination eba abiman na family plan so pono. Ehye ben ana kwese boni hye e wo krom entia wadi etwoye. Eba ne say ana gay ati atese e wo yasa fana nara. Ene wo say Illuminati, ene wo say Freemason, ene wo say Sunwani. Ni nara achase fini. No boni tim po a wadi sanyama wo nara eba wadi atwa abiman ene say. We enter to wake up Africa. Kwese da we ni kwese da bia. Awia tu yonu akopi mawia no mi live on Royal TV. Ejumadia of Apoku down Korea executive director Edema Freedom Mind Movement and of Israel Kroma aye coordinator Edema Freedom Mind Movement no ebeka me jaw odam ko bia ho na yesi ko nyama di djumadi ho chairman na ensem bi atise no de tra trotro so apakwasem ene twere ahodo so na ye bo ba bia obibini ufiri enu mu a edru ene so ma wo so bo ma profo disi a che braso se come together twere kai no etumi bam na no ana chase o Freedom Mind Movement djumadi first wake up Africa djumadi so braso say for djumadi live on Royal TV so say that we ko say that bia awia tu mi no copy no mi na ya wo so adwen che no asebisa ye ya no e bia ma wake up Africa abi mai mo ma yen sorry.
Wow, penifo say nya ofuru bia ka no e na ye pia no apa enunti e na make am Israel consult e bia ma ani Israel consult e ye dwumeku a o mu ye bibia bi dedi kan Israel consult se me kan che se you obi a wo pese ye ba be si wo dan ma se na be ya wo be tu abetini mu a e be wo ni che Israel consult o be tini si dan e dan de sai sa wo pe bia ene e fa ya wo be si dan bia Israel consult be tini aso to a sa no na enye no Israel consult say ensase de e ba no enkan gudimante ha o ye katashi enu ti wo enkan gudimante ha a wo pasa se de wo ni che Israel consult e ya dia wo be so to a se ne be ya enkan ha de ensase a wo pe gina no Israel consult e na betimi anyway a che enye no kon e ba be books a wo bia wo pese ye Bible say ye bibia book bia wo be bia no wo ni che Israel consult so a metimi aso to ha e ye books a wo nyina we say wake up Africa to make it program. Books are good for Israel consult prepare and I wait to be a free ale shanso and yet no Israel consult as ya papa fa e quantum pendant e ya ba sa quantum pendant e ba be bo and ye mo mu ye djuma e wo ye fi djuma no and ye wo do ade tu ko mo e ba be bo se be ya sa radiation 18 e ko ni be and na papa fa e sa quantum pendant e ya ba e ba be bo ho bai e ye fi radiation si e ka radiation se be we say was sample for fire radiation protector area also what we use for essence phone no air radiation e wo pini also for fire radiation protector at the telephone e ba be bo say be ya radiation 18 mV pe na for how embryo so na Israel also for fire 8 tester area ba also we so nya no e no ti ensure be no so for body test na say e project and as e project e no ti na body for fire 8 tester yaba and also eba be wana nti akete se ebe yesu no de ebetimi akotote so na Israel consult today what's your papa for a director's footpad yaba and also eba be boa o say esan say you moja e ti ekusane na ni na so ewe na siti papa for a director's footpad yaba and no talo na sia etimi mo moja ni ti ekusane ewe ni bebe se na be ya unsu betimi e tiwi and ti na make am for a Israel consult ama nenye no kwa wase akwa fa e quantum beauty spray ya sa quantum beauty spray ye duchura esa se enu ni soketo eni ye gu sa quantum ni enu ti ko bodia utumi enumi utumi spray machine utumi eni spray oni eni wa emporo kanka e wo ni spray wa better sa quantum beauty spray eye nyema bebre odua ni mpo na se na wo spray bi egusu a ebetimi atie ya no wa e ma wotimi edi ama ye ni kan me jale utimi spray wo ni ko so e ma wo oni no e double clear sara se etimi ma mo di efusani e wo ni mu enu ti wa fa e quantum beauty spray e dia ba enu su e di akejemu chere se o se mu so mu o ha e wo ni mu wa fa e spectacle e dia ba enu su e ba be bo se be ya wo ni mu e betimi e jina na so na e ya mu amo bra ko me na e spectacle e ti na bo ne e yi sa bra ko me e fi wo ni so enu ti se wo pe nyama mo bo su ina e Israel consult pe e na wo ni bi ato Israel consult de o ma bra na e bi mai enu ti from e wa ma tro face so 020-7782-482 and I say 0244-686557. Israel Consult, every night. Yes, we
Sharon. No, I call by the Oban Herbal Center. Na Yebie Herbal Center, ewu Kumasi Ejuso. Ejuso ntobe ni chiwa, awana na Yebie Herbal Center ho. Na Yebie Herbal Center, ejumedi a yedie si yehwe ntinimu, yebo oni pentini mentini nyankwa. Intini a eni nkwa eni yebo asentini no. Ebi ti se bema de bema ewu ayekojoto. Oba na Yebie Herbal Center. Obema no so amodin eye dwuma enche na esi ni trase oba na Yebie Herbal Center yetumi buawo ma bema ni jane na so emma abasobo bi e wase yede ma obema no obema no so etumi na sa abasobo de no na efiri ho kono na Yebie Herbal Center eboa hwe woni pantrim ade bi aye cholesterol fat a esisi wuntini mu kwan ama ntini ntumi nya dwuma sa ne ye no oba na Yebie Herbal Center yetumi buawo e wo sa kwan so ma wunduro na ye ha ye dwuma ye di nyina e pure organic orthodox medicine bi enim eye natural eduma ne ye nti na Yebie Herbal Center kofa herbal things sonko e de aba sa tin ewu ya ebo wo huru wuntini eye wuntini mu oduma nyina oba woni atenka oba na Yebie Herbal Center ye boawo oba okosinenim kakra bi na wotietim na tenka wo fom oba na Yebie Herbal Center ye boawo sa kwan so nyina ma wonya fa wodi na Yebie Herbal Center ye kire kwan e wo Kumasi Ejuso ani mfie no nti wo hwehwe ya abra ho sela
I tell Fomisi on Frey, Asiera, although roofing company, I had a one roofing company in Ghana, and it is so person who Daiso, and answer for a sit down up as a boss one. For all the shady also roofing, send the estimate, and more for trouble, or baby Namawa, or lose Kabia. That's what we do much also roofing, sir. When a Bassa Harrison and one Suka is our Erotosa, or the border slower, and then we our Amazon self worker, and also the good dinosaur, and Madania Fair, our aluminium self worker, and also the good dinosaur. Yo, so person here and the good dinosaur. And I say for a aluminium trouser CD. And a person the good dinosaur. I'll cry. What the roof you can go for at the amount, or standing seam, or step tar sheet, or shingles and idea, or calabonda. Madame Subo AFN, the dinosaur and you give and no one knew about Popiatil. They have branches all over the 60 regions in Ghana. But we are doing beyond the borders of Ghana. And it's me for also roofing was 0249 647 748 and 0205 053 365. Rosa Roofing, number one roofing company in Ghana. Rosa Roofing, Papa Amadanso Bo Aya Kono.
La la, let me say, a banner slippers, papa, and answer Embun and Tale papa. Now, Obutenti, you are Ghana, your friend Mike A collection, and it Mike A collection. It's answer in Yamaya painting, or not in Yamano, Wakefi, Canada, London, Germany, and Afi, China, and Nintino, Aya papa, and Nintino, so open slippers, a tuacoton, may come for a Mike A collection at the amount. Slippers and say, and answer Bemania, and answer Embun and Walas Day, what best sort out. Mike A collection, and as a would do Nanya no guau, say and Palato to Fewa entirely, a Palawa one yang Patalia Tamana, may come for my gay collection at the amount. Sounds like a woman, say in before, and Nasa and put and Copranta Lina, when you be our my gay collection. My gay collection is a main country, say, Empono, so what all the 16 regions in Ghana, who Pesa Wotata, and none is a woman from Keke, no big child delivery, no, who bet to any no, now Italian and Nasa was sleepers now beside, net our Buano, and to make come for my A collection at the amount. Oh, Yamania papa, and to say and man answer and Beman Talia answer slippers today. For Nietzsche my A collection. So open the do it too and answer open Marco who do each of us ya, one mess or two out. And you from our home trophy so 0542 895 675 and I say 0277 160 768 and I say 050 464 3052. Mike A collection, slippers papa, and I think and Tale papa, and last stop anyhow.
Cheno dia sasi akwanu be akwanu mana bia sami akwanu be akwanu mana bia sami akwanu be akwanu mana bia sami akwanu be akwanu mana bia sami
na du kosiada brisa na nim se Wake Up Africa na ebo wupunu se omode nsem a unti bida nsem a firi obo ade ho krogin ane de ekoso wiase a wani nda no ene na Wake Up Africa for aye crowd so mama waso ate na edu kosiada se dia na we kire se bebia aye gidi esan se obeti nsem a emu susu na emu tre ebise ebelefo me no mu ne di djuma Fupoku Dankwa the executive director Emma Freedom Mind Movement and Israel Nkrumah the national coordinator and also Omasa Aba Emma the Jumedi Eba Beson now we say Jumedi and Abodi Ben and Daso the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord, the day, and you become now. Yes, the team send our tree, you tree, you know, more. You know, who the echoes will be say, Efa Clash Wab in some more kind, say, Jesus, your faker, and a young coupon swim. And on a Eddie Bobo more, Bibrinano, a shock or more. Questions about say a bad day, and a bad day, and the platform, and then everything, you bad day, and I say. Now, every Sunday, so are now all that so share a RTV, which I say RTV, the number one station in Ghana, and once Wake Up Africa for so, yeah, you do the Fasuma, which should be. So, I'm going to be extremely live on Facebook, Facebook, Wake Up Africa, GH, so YouTube, Wake Up Africa, GH. Now, Oko, Sa, your platform, no so, make sure so be subscribe, now share. Me say, me pay 1 billion subscribers, and I said, make us 1 billion crown boys. We may say 1 million subscribers. Now, we were at the check, Papa B. Emma, a horn of check airtime, ya me boka, every airtime a go, and Tiko, na Konako subscribe, and share, na for my, na Obisun Tin Kronibi, a sans a ho, and a nipa between me and who Kroni a coso. Let me was appearing, 05 04643 052 0504643 052. Go to me, I was happy, and I said normal SMS, the same text line, or as you call it, the same normal, no, and I'll to me, I was happy, also. And then, I could see that year, and then January. Because it's January, dear, no one will eat you, and then 22nd January. Say 22nd January, dear, Afibay, 2023, and a year removal. The year 2023, Mudia, and the topic I heard the day of the Lord, you know, ever soon, somebody in Carabosso, and about the soon, somebody I've seen someone say, and the course will yassi. Now, you know, say, Yaki, sir, your first word that we said, dear, not be brilliant to me, friends, I didn't know, and they, my friend, we but by now, not each other, there be. Now we treat me you won't carry say you make a pro na yakwa kuchini akọ your branches in Ghana anything na we treat you want to me in your life na na dey ya ba life and then you need to be the eba so mo say na open on na scholarship on mobile and ready to be as well that could say be a Israel consult which we have from 0244686557 and I say 0207782482 or from what baby Drama so was that Becca. Sasso over roofing, so as I say, that you will be soon where I could see Libya, which we have 496 47748 02496 47748 and I say 02050 53365 or for more. Never I will pay the roofing only a dancing and mediano on the Bebro Sanope. Now, you have a center almost one juice now a juice no more. Now, what you are delay in so many sicknesses. Now, let me have friend I will have a center 0546 78 101 or for more. Baby, I'm going to and I said, some bump for you come to you, fear, or my card is on me too. You go watch media, almost all local for media, almost cover every event in the air, you better say, you are the better bra. But we have to come watch media 0244549109 0244 549109 offer me come multimedia the Mobiano on the Bible soon as open. Samsung my collections almost only dealing quality bills, shoes and slippers. Quality bills, shoes and slippers and African West. na wo hu a ehye mi saa so na ya yo stage hey anase of Israel ni wo fa opoku dan kwa no saa shirt ye bia ni nga ye na ye ni boy hu dwa na ni boy life o be so fra betimi asopla saa African West papa na ye o pe bia no saa so na second hand clothing so saa be kan pepepe be ge e ye fa ebe hu ni pa on there no kasa bi ni Michael Asma e se bi saa me ya na e kire se edu bra say wunya adagere na wunya bre na ufa utredua na say okrata na we jot down points and penifo no go because we speak to you in advance, we speak to you in prophecy, we speak to you so that you can become more aware about whatever is going on in the world. So you have to open your eyes and then sit down and then make sure that everything that we say no ebe on fasudie esan say sisi ano a ebe ka say e be another part Serebeya Ubehu, Ubehu ye, Shasela Uchumi, Tree, Mono say, the day of the Lord in part 1, and then a part 2, Yerubeko. Now, every Samia, Yakawasi, so, Madefa, Adeba could be reading film too. Now, Serebeya, Ubetia, Sena, you do a dear Cosu, and branches, and I say, your community be a wagon heaviano. On the 18th February 2023, 10 a.m. sharp, Magna Babishim, Ekoshim, Senawagas, Kumasi, Kushim, Kumasi. Say, my like Kushim, Kumasi, and a dress code, Bay, Mamoka. As if from three so Ecopil, and I say, you now, Fita, Ubeduku Fita, Washa Tari Fita, Babakura Fita, and no dress code. And Marconi and I say sisterhood no almost no omudia omu service no ewo Kumasi. Sasuna Mama Africa so say memfa asida pesi ma kwakusika ene na bedi che omu bua omu weka mo fefefe ema enwe dwedi ni course no aso da mase pass mo gine pene so na obadi ehia no ene de waye ne de mo ye bia no eye fe oda mase endo so bedu aso dwiem sasuna eye memre na ebe Kumasi Obuasi mo benya visit ye ba be visit Obuasi enti mo nya krado na nsiesie mo ho na National Council penfo no eba abe visit Obuasi na se ya tere saadia eni obi anya krado na de market bia no onfanti ni kotu du esanse eduwa na enya adeketo akura benya ni e fa se mi kompenfo na me do modi na yedi dwedi no ehhehye so se yina yini se edu samre ya enye twen ho esanse ye pese ye hu de ekọ ene bi bisa me se anase na wotwe mu ya na se video kakra mo hwe yi omo bisa me se in some opinion ka no na wotwe mu wan se na nka se mi be bo mu nyanya nti asa me kan ne se enye de bia no be bo nyanya e bia ne de ate ne de no be yaba no esi eja kura ma nti prepare se na wotwe mi no ka kira me se de o be ba no ebebo hu na wotwe ni wankasa nti wanka muzo peni yeginya esa abotwe sentuma mu ode bowa anhwa ubekọ akiri enti se ebi sa mre dia ene yebekọ ni akompany fo no ho na ebi mo ade adi se be ya dwumedi mekoso over me ma akwa ba apomu e yo edase se waba oba mo akwa ba apomu e boko baka Sabakodia any na wotwe mi twi mu uja ye tipeni na so ye fa be sa tipeni se uma ye hu se klaswa bi nkwala yi bi ama ye hu nyama ye koso se Jesus story na ngasa ne ye fake ana se Jesus Christ ne ye fake ema musi yankopon kora wawu nti God is there dia ene na wotwe mi twi ma question e ba ne se yenye den and any question said you can a boom dizia yenye den and then plans no mom who are sembika I'll be see you more na and any question and be bring afra mobisa na what you mean na and ra class bisa so be pem so the opinion king na boom dizia yenye den question mobisa no
Michael
Oba
edika ebe da ebetia ahefo nyina
okay
ya ka se obo ade nkra bia so se yele mu di nkomo na mwani no enyi enema ekosu bi asibeti ebize
Nasem Enyaba.
Okay.
Age Biani Emusem. Na medum pempenso a ye ko Eurogenta world no. One civilization in a baby. Ama Obadia in you article over yes. And today can you now? A tray say, and you may be a year, it's your body. Yes, embassy business. As a tribute or home more, your cost you are in Sabeka. Tell no who any airborne. If you say, I can't say revelation. Or can we say a baby? Maybe I say so, dear, only be a wintiment or winter and top. Now, or can I'm young who say, some that technology a pager or so. It's in my coso. If you have no study, Sikakwa, be daddy, cashless card and a identity. Ubeco as I do card, you call near Bisas, we are why not they are trading and I can't win now. You so ye. Yes, she said, Yama. And Jamie who said, and Yama, I catch her, had a quack with you. Doing it and say, maybe I was one crap. And my catch will say, one more would you do now? Skin cancer, don't die. And then we are trussel, and we are can be. Yes, Uncle Honka, I said, we are quaking. Ain't the end, yeah, but the second bowl of wrath, any third bowl of wrath. And then you become you number. Is there any now air cut in you? Any oceans as them. Yaso ding any say yes, say use you. You can't pardon a hundred, maybe I want to cook any guarantee. I this is you. Any a home near my name. And also, yeah, a bedroom. Na asotwe na ka ho ye de amaye nje de be wo ni ebusisi de mu ni se enti ogbo ade asem because ogbo ade nso hihye ni ya mu no osi de mu ye no nya de me ka che mu ni mana wo ntu mu ntu se no so de ye mpe eni aye de ni mpe enti na ade akwa ko dru ba bia ye di ehun ba bia enyi enti se ye den dia Johnny Crusade no na me ma bonu aye ya de se ogbo ade de ma nyina ye ntwe ehun emfiri ho eno enti I started enti second bowl of wrath no you record Revelation 16:3 say last 2 weeks no Revelation 16:1 and ko fa yeah, no, if you buy. Okay. And you go 16:2.
Revelation chapter 16, verse 2.
Verse 3.
Okay. Revelation chapter 16, verse 3. And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of the dead man, and every living soul died in the sea.
Hello, okay. Ubekaya, near 7 trumpet judgments. A honey who say, you Gentiles above almost 30 to industrial waste, toxic chemicals, any living creatures never marine, refresh Revelation 8 and 9.
Revelation chapter 8, verses 9.
8 and 9.
Okay.
8 verses 8 and 9.
Revelation chapter 8, verses 8 and 9. And the second angel sounded, as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. 9. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ship were destroyed.
And you know, trumpet judgment, you know, and your king can we. Yes, one to you, and then Bible, and I say, bad judgment asotwe a obo ade in the day of the Lord or the bema esi munyai pollution na mo na se munyai dia ye beba ni e na aka no 163 enti ene ne se hwa continuous pollution of oceans no yeah the garbage egum the radioactive waste egum the toxic chemicals egum the hazardous industrial waste egum oil spill bebree yɛde ne nyina egum paper bi da b'anim ha ɛyɛ English ɛsɛ ɔmo twerɛ ɔmo ho kura firi ɔmo twerɛ ɔmo ho firi yiyi mu no afei koraa deɛ ɔmo ntie firi Daily Guide 26 August 2022 the UK is threatening health and marine life on the French coast by allowing raw sewage to be dumped into the channel and North Sea, say 3 Euro MPs. I don't know. Raw sewage, toilet assembly account. I will move my choir and Kwakugu. Yanya, so, yeah, West Medana, ha. Who said, young guy? Solid waste feces taking over Ghana's public beaches. Oh, the extent yes say oceans. In the announcement of what the echo 16:3 say every year the woman and more woman baby plans a woman baby one more enya one no biari dada biari free epoano ene epo adwuma mu epo no say aso mo adwuma say yasa premix Ghana had premix full and dey epo no say wia say premix wato aton dey so januti ene ebo ekoko ni nka ye mekinka bibi judgment time mekinka then no nsem ni nyina dodo no a video until you are press video. The statistics. Yeah, pollution no aye pollute seas. Any rivers no. Aso train yeah to dia say ya betu no. The first video na say.
The first video is 25 shocking facts about water pollution. And in the first video, and then 25 shocking facts about water pollution. And in the first video,
Facts about water pollution. The causes and effects of water pollution are various, well known, and fully documented. The blue planet that we once knew is something of the past. Here's why H2O is the new gold. Nevertheless, we continue to treat the main component of Earth's oceans, lakes, rivers, and living organisms as a dispensable commodity. We sometimes forget that around 45% of the world's population lives within 90 miles (145 kilometers) of the ocean and that roughly 43% of the planet's humans depend on seafood as the primary protein source in their diet. The facts and figures are undeniable. For example, 18 billion pounds of garbage are dumped into the ocean every year. Is that sustainable in the future? How will the human race live with that? Believe or not, it's in our hands to change the dramatic course of our water. Recycle, avoid the use of plastics, reduce your water consumption, stay alert, and enlighten people around you. Small actions have enormous impacts. The destruction of our water resources leads us to a couple of introductory questions. What are the causes of ocean pollution? How does water pollution affect humans? The following list of evidence proves that we failed to deal with the advent of water pollution. We're the ones to blame. But we're also the ones that are suffering the consequences of our actions. 1. Water pollution kills around 10,000 people around the world every day, that's 3.6 million people every year. 2. Every 8 seconds, a child under the age of 5 dies from diseases related to contaminated water. 3. 80% of ocean pollution comes from land-based sources: oil, pesticides, septic tanks, dirt, discharge of nutrients, untreated sewage, runoff, farms, motor vehicles, ranches, etc. 4. 40% of China's water bodies are polluted, and roughly 700 million Chinese citizens drink contaminated water on a regular basis. 5. Oil is more harmful to the ocean's ecosystem than waste and trash. 6. For every 1 million tons of oil that are shipped, 1 ton is spilled into the waterways. 7. 1.3 million gallons of oil is spilled into the ocean every year. 8. Only 12% of oil that is leaked into the ocean is the result of spills, the rest comes from land. 9. Lake Karachay, in Russia, is considered the most contaminated and polluted lake on the planet. 10. 40% of all lakes and rivers in the United States are too polluted for fishing and swimming. 11. 85% of Bangladesh's groundwater is contaminated with arsenic. 12. 80% of urban sewage discharged into the Mediterranean Sea is untreated. 13. Planet Earth has now around 500 dead zones, the equivalent to the territory of the United Kingdom. 14. The most common element found in the world's oceans is plastic, but there are also fishing gear and nets, and cigarette butts. 15. There are more microplastics in our oceans than stars in the Milky Way. 16. 46% of plastics produced in the planet float. 17. 80% of all trash floating in the oceans is made of plastic, i.e., around 46,000 pieces per square mile. 18. 10% of the plastic we use in our daily lives, the equivalent to 700 billion plastic bottles, ends up in the oceans. 19. 40,000 tons of plastics are currently floating on the ocean surface. 20. Most of the ocean plastic waste can be found in the 5 subtropical gyres: Indian Ocean, North Atlantic Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean, North Pacific Ocean and South Pacific Ocean. 21. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a continent made from plastic trash, is thought to be 386,000 square miles, i.e., an area bigger than Texas. 22. Los Angeles dumps 22,000 pounds of soda bottles, grocery bags, and plastic straws into the Pacific Ocean every day. 23. In North America's Lake Erie, 85% of the plastic particles are smaller than 0.2 of an inch. 24. 50% of all sea turtles, 44% of all seabirds, 22% of all cetaceans, and a long list of fish species have already eaten plastics. 25. Plastics and water pollution kill more than 1 million seabirds and 100,000 marine mammals every year.
Yeah, 25 facts are shocking facts about water pollution. Ensure yes, and the air quality factor around 10 billion people every day. And also within every second, we are ensure listen from was a moment you contaminate insurance and they say yourself. It is a shame the air cost here. And yes, I got a hand world, the whole world. Ocean documentary Kaka share fat pollutions in one, and yet Ghana have the whole world. And what says you? Ghana had the idea. I have to say, and you need to make
to ask you. The second video, right? And also, I say, now tragic truths are, they say, all oceans, one, yet home. Now, I say, specific pollution, ocean, ABL, oil spill, ABL, or tragic, truths now. Yet to me, ignore you. Yaya Shakama, and also Sa, and that made them lay. The Baba tour, so I'm here near to me, 12 ammonia. The other man said, oh, Bobby, to show the Baba soup. The Baba soup, then the blue salad. That is so a poo, and young men now, and we say, I can go, Revelation 16. All living things. Weeds, animals. So yeah, one more thing in so many. Ubiabi, as I am the kind of. So the same so one year, I mean fishermen, wɔn nkonkunyi ɛnam yɛ bi ma ɛnam nyinaa wu eti na kyerɛ sɛ wɔn nso adwuma a wɔn de bi wɔn nkɔla bi wɔn ayɛ no yɛsi nyinaa a ne obi na sɛ o yes second video no hɛrɛ yɛ ba no hwɛ 9 tragic truths about ocean pollution 9 tragic truths about ocean pollution. Second video
with sea creatures dwindling at an alarming rate, many fish populations as well as our valuable reefs are on the brink of extinction. As Robert Swain once said, the greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it. Here are 9 tragic truths about ocean pollution we can't continue to ignore. 9. Rubbish. The ocean is a very valuable natural resource, yet increasingly it's being threatened by pollution from people on land as well as from natural causes. The bulk of trash seen floating among the tides, stuck in between rocks and littering the seashore, comes from everyday items that people throw away, without giving the contents hardly any consideration. The best time to see firsthand the effects of pollution is when strolling the beaches after a storm. Be mindful of this visual reality, but this residue is only a small amount of garbage that permeates our waters. So, what happens with our waste after we carelessly dispose of it? Things like cigarette butts, old worn fishing gear, tin and plastic containers from food and beverages, paper bags and one-time use products such as bottles, carrier bags, straws and utensils are posing a huge threat to our planet, and our oceans in particular. According to the National Academy of Sciences, an estimated 8 million tons of rubbish enter the world's oceans every year. Researchers speculate this number is even higher. In fact, since trash that is constantly in motion is increasingly difficult to tally. What further complicates this matter is that litter enters the marine environment through a number of pathways. 8. Land-based pollution. First, there is the issue of land-based pollution. Sources under this category make up 80% of the pollution that permeates the sea. Also known as non-point source pollution, these include runoff from septic tanks, vehicles and boats, as well as agricultural culprits such as farms, ranches and many forested areas. If you think sewage is disgusting snaking its way through our underground tunnels and found at points where land meets the sea, imagine how marine ecosystems feel. The release of minerals and toxic nutrients drain directly into our oceans, which lead to a reduction in oxygen levels, as well as a detriment to the quality of clean water and decaying of plant resources. Millions of motor engines release oil emissions and residue that fall onto our roads and parking lots. Further, water pollution can even start off in the air. Dirt is a well-known pollutant that clogs up our waterways and settles in our oceans. Topsoil and silt from fields and construction projects run into the ocean and severely threaten wildlife habitats as well. The dumping of toxic chemicals into the sea results in thermal pollution, in which water temperatures rise. Animals which can't survive at these increased temperatures wither and die. In addition, junk clouding the water's surface prevent filtration from sunlight, so plants and animals reliant upon photosynthesis soon perish. How can we correct the instance of non-point source pollution? Every year, millions of dollars are used to restore and protect areas damaged or endangered by non-point source pollutants. Yet correcting the problem starts at the source. Currently, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are in conjunction with agricultural departments and environmental protection agencies to develop innovative steps to monitor, assess, control, and hopefully limit non-point source pollution created by modes of industry and human action. 7. Ocean-based pollution. Next is the ocean-based pollution. Here, the remaining 20% of marine pollution comes from ocean-based sources, such as those stemming from fishing, shipping, and cruise ship industries. Another serious cause is contamination from efforts such as gold, copper, cobalt, and zinc mining. When the production of sulfide deposits as far as 3,000 miles deep begin to infiltrate the water, the subsequent areas affected are ecosystems that survive at the lowest regions of our oceans. The growing toxicity from oil leaks, corrosion and oil spills to these regions result in permanent damage to the marine habitats found there. In terms of oil spills, this devastating circumstance is a direct result of ship pollution. Crude oil can last for years in the ocean and is known to suffocate unsuspecting marine life as it inks its way into their regions and entraps them. This form of unrefined petroleum is also almost impossible to clean up, so once it's there to stay. Moreover, thousands of large vessels lose crates each year due to storms, accidents, and last-minute emergencies. This action leads to noise pollution, which is abrupt and directly affects the tranquil balance of life that underwater animals are prone to. This can throw off the normal functions of their existence and cause severe stress. 6. Rubbish and the repercussions. According to